Have Steve Camming from the Mount Washington Auto Road on the set. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning,
to see you.
Kelly. Hello.
How are things been up at the Auto Road? I know you guys are jamming basically every weekend. You've had a big event.
You know, there are some weeks it seems that we have to remember that there's an auto road. You know,
it's amazing.
I mean, fortunately, everyone else does. So that we've had some wonderful weather up there, and it has been a busy season. But yeah, you know, the events just roll in like waves.
Bicycle hill climb just went by.
24 hours at Great Glen.
You have an amazing staff up there, and if folks haven't had the opportunity to be up there, you really should, because not only is it naturally gorgeous, I mean, I believe the Auto Road's been one of the best at maintaining a natural feel to the area. You have a beautiful base lodge there, and right across the street, one of the oldest man-made attraction in the United States, correct?
It is, opened in 1861. In that regard, it really is a stewardship. You know, the same family has owned the Auto Road now for over 100 years, and one before that. So when you look at the fact that what we are offering the public is a natural experience, you know, immersion in an environment that is unlike what they might have anywhere else. The opportunity to go not just 8 miles up a road, but through weather and time, and there's so much history and beauty there. So and preserving that and keeping it in its pristine condition is something that the families that have been the stewards have taken very seriously.
And I don't think I could have segued better into the muster. Because it's just the perfect setting, as you mentioned. People can immerse themselves in an experience at the base of Mount Washington, courtesy of the Auto Road. The beautiful fields right at the base, and you guys are welcoming how many participants? Do you even know?
There'll certainly be over 100, but you know that field has been witness to every kind of activity.
Horses,
oh,
mustard,
goodness gracious! You
bikes.
know the bikes, the campers, who come up for the events, and all the things that we do up there. But this is my personal favorite. This, of all the things that we have done and continue to do up there, this is the one that I feel is the greatest linkage to what was here before us. You know, you can walk into that encampment, and it really is a true encampment. You know, there's all these teepees and lodges, and the people who come to this are so dedicated to doing it right. Oh yeah, they're experts in their various specialties. You know, whether it's they're gunsmiths or basket making or some people are doing pottery, and there's quills and just beadwork, and and it's just remarkable because they have spent a lifetime perfecting their expertise, and then they just put it all out and share it with anyone who comes by. And
I think I was planning to spend like an hour there filming, and I ended up spending all day because there were so many different really cool people that were so welcoming. And someone offered to dress me in like period clothing, and someone showed me how to make some material that was it's like a cooked cloth that you can use for starting fires.
Char cloth, that's called. Yes. You kind of it's a lightweight cotton, and you just kind of char it until it's black, and that apparently when you hit with the flint and steel and a spark, and I have had some of those opportunities to do things as well, and I'm fairly certain that I would have struggled in the 1700s.
I know. Well, it wasn't an easy time. And these people are really survivalists, and it's amazing to see modern day people having that knowledge, because it does take work. A lot of these people have been working for years to attain the knowledge that they have, and you guys can go and take advantage of that.
Yeah, and they're not doing anything that's anachronistic. You know, they're not coming in and wearing their 1700s clothing with eyeglasses and wristwatches. You know, I mean, everything down to the smallest detail, everything they touch, everything they use. I mean, if they're wearing a union suit underneath, they've made the buttons from antlers, you know, and hand drilled the little buttonholes. I mean, it's
hardcore.
It is, but you know, that's what makes it remarkable. I mean, there were moments there, certainly not as much maybe during the day when there's, you know, all these school groups come through, and some of the schools actually are very interactive. You know, they have lists and clipboards, and they're like, find something made of wool, you know, and they'll go around to the different people. But after everyone goes, sometimes at night, you know, when the camp goes quiet and it's just the fires and the tents, and you can smell the different cooked things going on. It is time travel. There is
and
nothing.
Play music.
Oh yeah, and there's nothing like it really in the modern age. And
now, how do people participate in this? Do they have to reserve a spot with the Auto Road?
Yeah, well, it's run by its own group, Bob Ross and his group, and you would essentially, I mean, you'd obviously have to be in period attire and in period encampment, but you would join the group. This one is Pequawket Alliance. There are various groups that attend, and these people come from all over New England, and there are settlers, which are those who sell to the to the reenactors, you know, and they come with their own tents and all these goods and services or little products and things that would have been appropriate at that time period.
Very cool. And for the kids, the cannons. I was amazed at the amount of cannons, and the big ones. I mean, they had really loud cannons.
That you know, for as much as of history as is on display there, it seems like, you know, the hook, if you will, you know, the thing that gets people all going is those cannons and the muskets and the firing line and, you know, the things that they do along those lines. It really is, and it is something when you see. And they're not actually, just for the record, nobody is firing cannonballs throughout the notches. Nothing like that. It's just, you know, it's just powder basically, and a big boom. But it's a big boom.
Yes, absolutely.
And I believe that we had some images of that. Might have
possibly.
Been possibly.
Never promise images.
That's true. They might have gotten through the time tunnel and gotten pixelated beyond recognition.
But if we can't see him right now, when can we see him? What weekend is this?
That's this weekend. This weekend coming up. It's open. The encampment is open to the public between 9 and 6.
Okay.
Of course, the Auto Road is open for a regular operation, as is the Great Glen Trails. The public is welcome to come up and see something that is a step out of time.
And do they have to pay to get in?
Nope. Entrance is free to the encampment. Yeah. So
this is perfect, like a little lead up into more school education, but delivered in a totally fun, non-threatening atmosphere, because you can get in there and learn so much. And these people, again, have put such hard work into it.
Yeah.
It really is amazing. You do get immersed in it.
It is. I'm actually surprised, after all the work and time that they put in, that they're willing to spend so much of the time that they're actually doing this, interacting with the public and sharing their knowledge and giving so much back. Because to me, I would think once you've created all of that, you want to just kind of immerse yourself in it. But they're all about really, sharing it with the public. And
wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. And one other quick note: I know you have a sunset soiree as well.
Well, that's the observatory's event.
Okay, but you guys are part of that with.
We are. We'll be ferrying, and then taking people up in the stages, and of course the following weekend, after the muster, we have the Mount Washington Alternative Energy Summit.
Yes, tell me more about that.
That is something we're so excited about. That's basically, back in the 1970s they had the Mount Washington Alternative Energy Regatta, and it was just basically they had vehicles coming up there, everything from a methane-powered bus run by chicken manure to steam vehicles and all kinds of technology, early electrics, and it's come so far since then in every way when you look at it.
Oh, sorry, battery change.
Keep talking. Well, speaking of electric power and the need for renewable resources, so we have really, we have our first charging station just was set up at the Auto Road a couple of weeks ago. So we now have an electric vehicle charging station, and this event is bringing together a whole cadre of people on all different sides. It's not just individual inventors kind of wiring something together in their garage anymore. I mean, all of the major manufacturers have got electric vehicles now, and several of them will be up on display up there. Solar, wind, geothermal. There's just so many. It's evolved into the mainstream now, and I think us being an environmentally based attraction in many ways, it's a perfect match for us to have this kind of event. So we're bringing it back this year. That's the following weekend. The public is certainly welcome to come to that and see some of these cars. There might even be there'll be demonstration rides of all these different, and some of them aren't the off the factory line looking like regular cars, which although that's here, some of them are those uniquely one-off. Yeah, one-off vehicles that individuals have put together. I've seen some of these things, and it's wonderful. I mean, it's bikes, motorcycles, cars, generators. It's really going to bring together quite a cross section. So.
All right, good. And more information, where can people find it? Because that's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot of information. Really, our website is the portal to head to. It'll talk about all the events, the operations that we've got there on a daily basis, the events that are coming up. That's MountWashingtonAutoRoad.com.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
Did we get everything?
No.
In our allotted time?
No, we haven't.
I can have you here for another 2 hours.
We've only scratched the surface, but yes, as always, there's more to talk about than there is time.
Well, the website's a good place to start, and then of course you'll be back on the show to give us updates throughout the fall season of foliage tours. Of course, you can't go wrong on the Auto Road for that.
Or maybe you'll get lucky and get one of the actual people who know everything they're talking about up there, like Howie or some of those.
Yeah, I think
I was an understudy today.
Okay. Well, Steve, good to see you.
Nice seeing you, Kelly.
And thank you for joining us this morning. And folks, again, you can go to the